Hello, Christina's World Kitchen. I'm Christina Martinez-Williams, and I am going to make my high-protein, low-carb meatballs. These are not the meatballs we made a couple weeks ago. These are different ones. Zariah requested meatballs tonight. We're going to have steamed broccoli with cooked in a little bit of butter. And these are ones that have, so the other kind are Parmesan meatballs. These, and use egg as a binder. These use cheese as a binder. So they are so delicious and high protein, low carb, lots of great protein in here. So I have 2 pounds of grass-fed beef, the highest fat portion that is possible. There's always 2 options. This is the highest percentage of fat. And to this, we're going to add first our cream cheese, which is 5 ounces of cream cheese. And we're gonna mix this in. And I want to know if you like meatballs, like them in the comments. I would love to know. You want to melt your, I put it like 45 seconds in the microwave, the cream cheese ahead of time, because it is so much easier to mix and actually mixes when you do that, because then it's just like spreading it versus like it not doing that at all. Like this would not happen if it was not melted. So it's not like baked or anything, but it is definitely where you can mix it easily. So I want to get it as well combined as possible. And I do have other ingredients to add, so it's okay if it's not 100% well combined, but I do want as much as possible. Tell me where you're watching from, thumbs up, hearts, share this video. And we have a reprieve from the heat this week. It is actually pretty cloudy today. Much like 10 degrees less than the last few days, and we had to leave the pool a little bit early today because of lightning and thunder. So it's supposed to rain a lot this week. Are you getting rain where you live? Where do you live? And has your heat, I know that heat has been common across the US, so is your heat, how is it compared to, how is it compared to what it was last week? Okay, I almost have this mixed in. I can see as I move the meat that there's still some spots that are not very creamy, whereas other spots are very creamy. So I want that to be, I do want the meat to be well, this just to be well distributed across the meat. Okay, whew, I got it. Now, this is the hardest. Meatballs are always just take a lot of, actually, this is great, a lot of muscle to move around the meat. Now we're gonna add our second kind of cheese, which is mozzarella cheese. You can actually use shredded cheese of any flavor that you prefer. If I was making these just for my husband and I, we would have pepper jack. This is 2 cups of mozzarella cheese. And then...
But of course she's making it for us, guys.
Of course it's for the whole family. So I want to mix this well. And we're going to do our spices last. And this cheese is going to seem like it's not going to connect, but it will. And we have one other ingredient that's also going to seem like it's not going to connect, but it will. So it's just a matter of continuing to like push it and knead it. It's almost like kneading bread dough, except that you're pushing and pulling, because the cheese has to be like pushed into the meat. Okay, I always feel like I'm struggling so much, even though I'm not, but I am at the same time, because it's hard work. This is a hard work recipe. You will build muscle. When I was first on my journey of losing fat and building muscle, my biceps were always like well defined in the process of this, and people always ask me what'd you do to get them, and I was like, well, I cooked and I pushed my girls in the swings, which is the truth. Okay. Now, it's pretty much mixed in. Now I'm gonna add a cup of almond flour. This also is gonna seem like it's not going to, so I'm gonna do actually like half at a time and push this in this half and then fold it over and push it into the other half, because especially the almond flour is challenging. find that like denting it into there really helps. So the almond flour is giving us some extra protein, some extra healthy fat, and is delicious. All right. Now I'm going to, just by doing this, like pushing it like this, I have eliminated the powder from the top. So I'm going to move it around. I'm gonna flip it upside down and flip that one. Flip this section. And then I'm going to add the rest of the almond flour, and then we just have our spices. Oh, it is hard work. All right, the rest of the almond flour. I think I had done like 3/4 that first time. All right, we're almost there. So my oven is preheated to 375 degrees. And I have a baking sheet ready with aluminum foil on it. You can use a silicone mat if you want. You could use parchment paper, I guess, if you want to. It won't hurt it. My fear with the aluminum foil is always that it's going to stick, but I think there's enough cheese and grease in the cheese that it's not going to stick. Even though these are more like together because of the almond flour. All right. Oh, my goodness. Now, it is very well together. Now we're going to mix our spices and our baking powder separate so that we can get them evenly distributed. So we're going to use a teaspoon of garlic powder. A teaspoon of garlic powder. This is for 2 pounds of meat. And a teaspoon of black pepper. A teaspoon of, 2 teaspoons of pink salt. This is really simple spices, but really delicious. 1, 2, and then 1 teaspoon of baking powder. One teaspoon of baking powder. And now we're just gonna mix these all together and the spices all together, and then we can distribute it throughout the mass of meat and cheese and almond flour here. All right, so I'm just going to sprinkle, 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 mix, sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. And then you can make your meatballs as big or as small as you would like. I would love to know how big or small would you like your meatballs. Do you like them medium, small, medium, or large? Tell me that in the comments. And then tell me what low-carb veggie would you pair these meatballs with. We're having steamed broccoli with them. What would you pair them with? And after I have smashed the spices into the meat, I'm going to flip it and then put the rest on the other side of the meat. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Last one. And then I like to use cookie scoops, or you could use like an ice cream scoop to get the meatballs out. I still have a little bit more. I don't want to get it all in more than it's spreading. And so I'm going to use, we're going to use large today. And then you can eat these meatballs with any or nothing that you want. You could have them alone. They're that good. You could have them with guasacaca, with guacamole, with even my sweet veggie dip that we had last week. You could have them with ranch dip, my recipe. You could have them with zero sugar ketchup. You could have them with just sour cream. I put some like jalapeno, ground jalapeno in my sour cream yesterday, and it was so good. So tell me what you would also use to dip your meatballs if you're dipping them. Or if you're just gonna eat them plain, put plain. They're actually really good plain too, so however you prefer is the best and possible. All right, I'm going to sprinkle the last bit, and then you're just gonna make your meatballs. So I don't know that you need to watch me do that, but if you're using a cookie scoop, you just go like this. You could also just use your hands and a spoon or a ice cream scoop. Tell me what you do in the comments. And like, heart, share this video, and let the world know that they can have meatballs that don't have gluten and don't have extra carbs, and that are super low carb. All right, this is it. Now it's just a matter of scooping it out. I got it in here, mixed and ready to go. So I'll just show you for one. I get it in, and then I'm putting it on my baking sheet, and I'm probably going to use my spoon to get it out because this doesn't work anymore to do that. It is huge, so you can use medium, small, whatever you want. This is huge. Can't quite see it. And then you're going to bake it for 25 minutes. Okay, that's it. 375, 25 minutes. From my house to your kitchen, global flavors and healthy plates from around the world. Bye.